Creation's gentleness is all I see. Can you say that? Creation's gentleness is all I see. Remember, perception begins with an inner wish. Hello, I'm Willie from the Ozarks. Thank you for joining me today under the shade of this walnut tree, studying lesson 265 in A Course in Miracles workbook for students. We're reading from the original edition here on September 22nd of 2022. I have indeed misunderstood the world because I laid my sins on it and saw them looking back at me. How fierce they seemed, and how deceived was I to think that what I feared was in the world, instead of in my mind alone. Today I see the world in the celestial gentleness with which creation shines. There is no fear in it. Let no appearance of my sins obscure the light of heaven shining on the world. What is reflected here is in God's mind. The images I see reflect my thoughts, yet is my mind at one with God's, and so I can perceive creation's gentleness. Creation's gentleness is all I see. In quiet would I look upon the world, which but reflects your thoughts, and mine as well. Let me remember that they are the same, and I will see creation's gentleness. Wow, if we could just learn to have our thoughts be in alignment with our Creator's, which is the truth anyway. It's just that we're dreaming a dream that's a different thought. And in that dream that we're thinking inside, we're laying those sins on the world, and it seems to be coming from the world. But we could see the truth, which is creation's gentleness. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to work on that. Creation's gentleness is all I see. Okay, and we'll come back and look at that again. But for now, let's go take a look at our next section in chapter 26 of the text, the transition. And we're ready for section 9, the immediacy of salvation. I just love this. It's going to tell us where time and space comes from. Can you imagine? It comes from unforgiveness. Okay, let's read and we'll understand. The immediacy of salvation. The one remaining problem that you have is that you see an interval between the time when you forgive and will receive the benefits of trust. Okay, so there he equates forgiveness and trust. So the one remaining problem that you have is that you see an interval between the time when you forgive and will receive the benefits of trust. This but reflects the little you would keep between yourselves, that you might be a little separate. Seeing my body over here and your body over there, well, that's an unforgiveness that is keeping that perception that we're separate from each other in time and space. Okay, look, he goes on to say, for time and space are one illusion, which takes different forms. If it has been projected beyond your minds, you think of it as time. The nearer it is brought to where it is, the more you think of it in terms of space. There is a distance you would keep apart from one another, and this space you see as time, because you still believe you are external to each other. This makes trust impossible. And you cannot believe that trust would settle every problem now. You cannot believe that trust would settle every problem now. Thus do you think it safer to remain a little careful and a little watchful of interests perceived as separate. From this perception you cannot conceive of gaining what forgiveness offers now. The interval you think lies in between the giving and receiving of the gifts, or of the gift, seems to be one in which you sacrifice and suffer loss. The interval you think lies in between the giving and receiving of the gift seems to be one in which you sacrifice and suffer loss. You see eventual salvation, not immediate results. We want to start learning to see immediate results, huh? Salvation is immediate. Unless you so perceive it, you will be afraid of it, believing that the risk of loss is great between the time its purpose is made yours and its effects will come to you. Let's read that again. Salvation is immediate. Unless you so perceive it, you will be afraid of it, believing that the risk of loss is great between the time its purpose is made yours and its effects will come to you. In this form is the error still obscured that is the source of fear. Salvation would wipe out the space you see between you still and let you instantly become as one. Salvation, or forgiveness. Salvation would wipe out the space you see between you still and let you instantly become as one. You want to become one with your brother in your awareness, seeing that their interest is your interest and that we're in this together and that celestial gentleness is all there is? Well, salvation will wipe out the space you see between you still and let you instantly become as one. And it is here you fear the loss would lie. Do not project this fear to time, for time is not the enemy that you perceive. Time is as neutral as the body is, except in terms of what you see it for. If you would keep a little space between you still, you want a little time in which forgiveness is withheld a little while. This makes the interval between the time in which forgiveness is withheld and given seem dangerous, with terror justified. Let's read that last couple sentences again. If you would keep a little space between you still, between you and your brother, you want a little time in which forgiveness is withheld a little while. This makes the interval between the time in which forgiveness is withheld and given seem dangerous, with terror justified. 71. Yet space between you is apparent now and cannot be perceived in future time. No more can it be overlooked except within the present. Future loss is not your fear, but present joining is your dread. Future loss is not your fear, but present joining is your dread. Who can feel desolation except now? A future cause as yet has no effects, and therefore must it be that if you fear, there is a present cause, and it is this that needs correction, not a future state. Listen to that again. Therefore, who can feel desolation except now? A future cause as yet has no effects, and therefore must it be that if you fear, there is a present cause, and it is this that needs correction, not a future state. So what do we need? Therefore must it be that if you fear, there must be a present cause? That's what we want to look at and root out. Turn it over to the eyes of Christ, to forgiveness. 72. The plan you make for safety, all are laid within the future, where you cannot plan. No purpose has been given it as yet, and what will happen has as yet no cause. Who can predict effects without a cause? And who could fear effects unless he thought they had been caused and judged disastrous now? Belief in sin arouses fear, and like its cause, is looking forward, looking back, but overlooking what is here and now. Let's read that again. Belief in sin arouses fear, and like its cause, is looking forward, looking back, but overlooking what is here and now. We want to be here now, don't we? Yet only here and now its cause must be, if its effects already have been judged as fearful. So if you feel fear, look and find out what the cause is and change your mind. Ask the Holy Spirit for help. Be freed from that perception in the present. And only here and now its cause must be, if its effects already have been judged as fearful. And in overlooking this, is it protected and kept separate from healing? For a miracle is now. It stands already here in present grace, within the only interval of time which sin and fear have overlooked, but which all there is to time, the now. The working out of all correction takes no time at all. Wow. The working out of all correction takes no time at all. It's a present experience in the here and now. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, let's go take a look at our associated reading in Creation's Gentleness is All I See. And it is, what is the body? What is the body? And before we read it, let me tell you about another raspberry. And this is the Ohio Treasure Black Raspberry. It's a Rubus occidentalis. And I found this on EdibleLandscaping.com. The first black raspberry that gives 2 crops a season. Ohio's Treasures berries have a pleasant flavor with a good balance of sweetness and freshness, ripening a spring and fall crop. The fruit quality is very good on spring and fall crops. The plants can be mowed to the ground each spring for a summer crop that lasts till frost. Zones 3 through 8. That's the Ohio Treasure Black Raspberry. Okay, now let's take a look at what is the body. I'm pretty excited about the edible landscaping plants, and I ordered a whole bunch of them, of raspberries just recently. What is the body? The body is a fence the Son of God imagines he has built to separate parts of himself from other parts. It is within this fence he thinks he lives, to die as it decays and crumbles. For within this fence he thinks that he is safe from love. Identifying with its safety, he regards himself as what his safety is. How else could he be certain he remains within the body, keeping love outside? The body will not stay. Yet this he sees as double safety. And that word safety is in quotes because it's not really safety, is it? The body will not stay, yet this he sees as double safety. For the Son of God's impermanence is in quotes proof his fences work and do the task his mind assigns to them. For if his oneness still remained untouched, who could attack and who could be attacked? Who could be victor? Who could be his prey? Who could be victim? Who the murderer? And if he did not die, what proof is there that God's eternal Son can be destroyed? The body is a dream. The body is a dream. Like other dreams, it sometimes seems to picture happiness, but can quite suddenly revert to fear, where every dream is born. For only love creates in truth, and truth can never fear. Made to be fearful, must the body serve the purpose given it. But we can change the purpose which the body will obey by changing what we think that it is for. The body is the means by which God's Son returns to sanity. Now there's a good reason to perceive the body for the means to return to sanity? The body is the means by which God's Son returns to sanity. Though it was made to fence him into hell without escape, yet has the goal of heaven been exchanged for the pursuit of hell. The Son of God extends his hand to reach his brother and to help him walk along the road with him. Now is the body holy. Now it serves to heal the mind that it was made to kill. You will identify with what you think will make you safe, whatever it may be. You will believe that it is one with you. Your safety lies in truth and not in lies. Love is your safety. Fear does not exist. Identify with love and you are safe. Identify with love and you are home. Identify with love and find yourself. All right, identify with love and find yourself. Identify with love and you are home, safe. Okay, creation's gentleness is all I see. Thank you all so much for joining me today. And as I tell you often, be sure to do your 2 extended periods of quiet time in the morning and then in the evening. And every hour of the day, give thanks to God for guiding you and for leading you, asking for help, checking in. Check in every hour. Be sure that you're having the joy that is your inheritance. Creation's gentleness is all I see. I have indeed misunderstood the world because I laid my sins on it and saw them looking back at me. How fierce they seemed, and how deceived was I to think that what I feared was in the world instead of in my mind alone. Today I see the world in the celestial gentleness with which creation shines. Let's say that. Today I see the world in the celestial gentleness with which creation shines. There is no fear in it. Let no appearance of my sins obscure the light of heaven shining on the world. What is reflected here is in God's mind. What is reflected here is in God's mind. The images I see reflect my thoughts, yet is my mind at one with God's, and so I can perceive creation's gentleness. Creation's gentleness is all I see. In quiet would I look upon the world, which but reflects your thoughts and mine as well. Let me remember that they are the same, and I will see creation's gentleness. Creation's gentleness is all I see. Creation's gentleness is all I see.